Hey guys, Rodney Walker here, Grant Center USA and Get Funded with Rodney. I want to talk to you real quickly about, is grant writing for you? And in addition to it, is it for you? Does it make you more marketable? That's a question that I often get, and let me share some insight with you on if it makes you marketable or not. And remember, if you haven't had a chance to check out some of my earlier videos where I talked about is grant writing for you, you might want to go back and check those out. But let me say this, in terms of marketability, it depends on what you're trying to do in essence. But let me say this, grant writing is one of the most marketable skills, and it's something that can make you extremely attractive to a potential employer, even if you're not thinking about doing solely grant writing. So let me explain to you why. What goes on in a person's psyche when they hear that you are a grant writer? I'll tell you exactly what goes on in their psyche. The first thing they start thinking about is bing, bing, money. They start thinking, wow, this person has the ability to put down something on paper to possibly get me money. So that is extremely attractive. And that's one of the first things. So in essence, yes, it does make you more marketable, because tell me one nonprofit organization, or tell me any organization that exists that doesn't need money. Money is like the oxygen for a nonprofit organization or any organization, because they all need revenue. So let's just go for a walk and talk this thing through in terms of it making you more marketable. And I want to share with you how I've seen it done, and actually how I've actually used it some in my own personal life. So first of all, marketability. Here's a test that I often tell people to make and ask when we're talking about if it makes them marketable or not. Just go to a nonprofit organization or talk to somebody who's already in the nonprofit sector and let them know, hey, I do grant writing. Watch the look that comes watch the look that comes on their eyes when you tell them that you do this. You often get that, like, oh, wow, you do grant writing. Tell me more about that. Because they're curious, they want to know, because again, at the end of the day, they're trying to get that paper, they're trying to get that money. So it makes you marketable in that regard. So how can you use this marketable skill? Well, first of all, I've seen, if you go right now and just take a look at some of the job postings that are out there, you will notice that a lot of them, especially in the nonprofit sector, they're grant writing jobs that are on the market. They want to know there's somebody that can bring in funds to the agency. Some of the other job descriptions, such as a director of development or an executive director, and I've even seen it sometimes in some other positions where they're looking for someone who has this skill. So when you, a recent college grad, or maybe someone in transition into a new career, can highlight that you have the knowledge of this and you put that on your resume, that makes you more attractive to that prospective employer, and they're more likely to want to give you a shot in terms of this as a career, because you can bring more revenue to the agency, okay? Another way that it makes you more marketable that you may not have considered is a great part of what it takes to do grant writing at a very high level is actually relational in nature. And it's also presentation in nature. Grant writing has an element of marketing to it that some less savvy grant writers don't really use that and take advantage of that, but it actually involves that. So when you're able to tell a prospective employer that you have all of these skills that culminate into relational, research, getting funded skills, proposal development skills, and all of that, there are multiple ways of being able to use that to your advantage. So it's not simply listen down that you can write some words down on paper. It has all of these different arms that if you're really savvy and you're really wise, you will show the funder that you have the abilities to research prospective funders. that you have the in-depth ability to know which funders are likely to want to give their agency money. Bing! Dollar sign starts going off in their mind when they hear that. And when they know that you can take a concept of a program that they're offering, or here's something that they need that they don't have, and you know how to package that with your words, and you know how to tell a story with your words that paint a vivid picture to the point where somebody says, okay, great, I want to give you some funds to do that, that becomes pretty powerful. So I want to say this, my friend. Yes, to answer your question, this is a highly marketable skill. And yes, if you use it correctly and if you use it wisely, you can use it to open up other doors for you that can help to bring funds to your agency, but also they can get your foot in the door to getting a job. And maybe you're the venturous type that like to do business. It can also lead to an opportunity for you to do like I did, which was to open up a grant writing business that you can use to help to bring funds to yourself in addition to helping the agencies get funded. Okay? That's all the time I have for now, my friend, but I want to remind you and all your dealings and all your doings to be brave, to be bold, be brilliant, and take charge. Let me know what you think. If you have a question, leave it below, and I'll chat with you soon. All the best.